Hey man, say man, what's the play, man? So who do we have here today?
What up, man? It's me, Amy O. I'm here with KBT 1049 The Beat here in Lubbock, Texas, program director. And I'm actually excited to be here with you, man.
And I really do appreciate you sitting down with me. This is definitely an honor. Being a former artist, I feel like every artist has the dream of one day being at the radio station, interviewing. I just didn't know I'm going to be interviewing at the radio station.
Hey, everybody has a dream. I mean, I've even had the dream that, hey, one day I'll be on the Breakfast Club in New York.
You can definitely do it. I really do feel like you can do it. You have the personality for it, and I want to let you know I admire you just from a journalist and a new journalist standpoint, and also from a media personality, just knowing how difficult it is to do this job.
Yes, sir.
And also, like, everybody has words, but our job comes with words, and
right.
It's difficult to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I really do appreciate you and appreciate you sitting down with us. So where are you from?
Originally, I'm from South Texas, Laredo.
Okay. So what brought you to Lubbock?
I came to Lubbock up here, being a migrant worker back in the day as a young kid. Graduated high school early, 16, got a full ride, went to tech.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a blessing. I started off at a small radio station here in Lubbock, a Spanish radio station, and I used to work the overnights. Back in the day, they used to have jobs between midnight and 6 in the morning, and I was one of them, doing all the grunt work, helping out the morning shows and preparing them for their gig in the morning.
Yeah.
And I thought I got a person that was just drunk dialing, and actually it was a boss that called in and said, hey, I like your voice, I like your delivery. Can we talk?
That's the way blessings come in sometimes, right?
I'm telling you, you can never, ever, ever walk away from a blessing. You never know.
Yeah. So, like, what were you studying at Tech?
So, my career, what I wanted to be, was in criminology.
Really? So
criminal justice with a minor in sociology.
So that's really, really different from radio. So what, like, really drawed you into radio? And to leave a full ride at that?
Well, being a kid, I mean, like I said, migrant worker, working out in the fields. I remember one day I was like 13 years old, and I said, you know what, this is the last summer I'm going to be here picking watermelons and working in the cotton field, because, that's a tough job. Yeah. There ain't no breaks, Yeah. And it's from 6 to 6. And I just devoted myself into my education, and, hey, God blessed me with a scholarship.
Yes,
of course, getting into school, being young and wanting to make some money, I was told that there was an opening at a radio station. I did little gigs here and there for weddings and quinceañeras and stuff like that, just to make extra money. So I gave it a shot. I jumped, and man, I'll tell you right now, it was the biggest blessing, biggest door to ever open, and I've been blessed. I've been in radio now 23 years.
Congratulations.
I've worked in Austin, San Antonio, and Lubbock.
Okay, so what's your job here at the radio station? For people that don't know.
Depends.
So you do a little bit. You do a little bit of everything, and I want people to understand that, because I feel like, and I'm of this generation, but sometimes I feel like our generation doesn't understand hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'll tell you right now. You have to look at everything, no matter what field you're in, as job security. Meaning, you got to learn everything. I do on air. I started off here back in 2009 with the morning show here with D Brown and the Amy O on 149 The Beat. And not only did I do on air, I jumped into the sales department, so account executive. I do a lot of sales for the Beat and the other cluster stations that we have. Promotions, thinking of ideas, a way to make the company money, as well as to make the station pop and get out and be involved in the community. And then I also program, so all the music that comes in, a lot of corporate calls and conference calls, and making sure the music that we play is going to be for everyone. And I also produce. I do production. Okay. So just a little bit of everything. Everything you hear on the radio is all hands-on.
Yes, ma'am. So, like, I feel like one thing I've heard in Lubbock, especially coming out from out of town, people feel like the playlists are not from here. So I'm glad that you kind of said that you are the program director.
I'll tell you right now, radio's changed. Boy, it's changed. When you are with a corporate company, it's going to be corporate. You're going to have somebody you're going to answer to. We have music consultants that we talk to. And, of course, they have their divisions, have divided up. And then what they do is they tell you, okay, this is what we think, this is what tested, this is what we're going to play. A lot of the times, they'll loosen up and they'll let us squeeze in something. But we have to ask for permission. A lot of the music that is played is mainstream music. We are a contemporary hit radio station, hip-hop and R&B. Yeah. But, again, we play what pays. It's the bubblegum hip hop and R&B. Okay. We can't go too left. We can't go too right. We got to be right in that middle.
Okay. So, not necessarily what type of upcoming artist, but what would an artist here from Lubbock do to try to get on a radio station here? Or what are the steps?
And that's that's the one thing that I see a lot with a lot of the rappers, local rappers. It doesn't matter if you're from this area, surrounding area, even if you're from out of town and you come and hit up. Remember, Lubbock, Texas is number 179th market in the nation.
Yeah.
Your job is to make sure, first of all, with your presentation, make sure you're registered, your beats are registered. Make sure everything looks like you're talking to a record label. I know it. We all want to be that Justin Bieber, that one hit on YouTube and get noticed, and that's it. It can't. It's got to be work. You know, as a market like us, 179 in the nation. My suggestion would be get with the mixed DJs, get in with the clubs. If your song, you can rock a club, trust me, I'm gonna be in the club. I'm gonna hear who's that. Okay. Then I can take it to my people. Always be, stay hungry.
And I'm glad you say that, because I feel like in the city I'm from Dallas. Mm-hmm. That was the format, and it might have changed. And I feel like the younger generation also feels like the format has changed to where I know it to be streets, club, radio.
Right.
They feel they can go from SoundCloud to radio.
Right. Oh yeah.
It can, but there's formats and there's, you know what I'm saying?
But it's the thing is being registered. That's so important. Because again, it's a business. You have to have that business mentality. You can have that dream of being a rapper and making and doing it. It's there, but you got to take the proper steps. That's having your music registered because of all the copyrights. If I were to sit there and pick up every song or every person that gave me a CD or emailed me the song that's a hit and I play on the radio, guess what? If that beat is registered to somebody else, I'm going to get sued.
Yeah.
The company's going to get sued. I'm then a liability. You are now a liability, and guess what? Word of mouth. Hey, man, that dude, all I got to do is send an email, shoot it as a mass email, and your doors are going to get shut. So you got to think business. It's not, oh, that station don't like locals. Oh, man, she don't like me. No, it's just business at the end of the day.
With you being radio, is blackballing a real thing?
Man, yeah. I'll tell you right now. Blackball depends on what you do. You know, I'll tell you a little story. I had a good friend of mine from a different company in a bigger market. I'm not going to say which one. Mm-hmm. He liked to smoke weed on his spare time. They had a big morning show account. And they were doing an internship with kids with McDonald's. This jock friend of mine, dude was good, talented. He helped in the community. Man, he was doing all kinds of stuff, raising all kinds of money. Big, in a big market, top 10. And he ended up taking these interns to school. He got pulled over in a school zone. He had a joint in the car. Lost his career. Was making 6 figures. Lost his career.
That's a federal offense right there.
Yeah. And so now he can't ever. He tried coming. He went from the one market, gave me a call. By the time he called me, I'm like, bro, you're all over CNN. It makes CNN. So, yeah, it's not just somebody blackballing you. What you do, whether this social media, make sure you're careful what you do, what you post up, because it'll follow you.
Yeah. So even when speaking on social media, so do you guys like watch social media trends? I feel like even when I walked in, I heard a song that I thought I only heard on TikTok, and I'm starting to hear more songs from TikTok on the radio.
Okay, so back in the day was Shazam. So we look at that. You know, all these little, like, everything from Facebook, Shazam, TikTok, they all also, even and now,
I think they added Facebook. Yeah.
Facebook also now
this Tuesday, they just added that now. Yeah.
So what they're doing is, that's what we're doing. We're following where the trend's going. So if it's on one of the hot social sites, we're going to play it. Why? Because it's all over there.
Yeah.
So here's another way to get into it. Make sure your beats registered for all you rappers that are, starting up. Put your stuff, get it registered, and put it on the social sites. TikTok, do TikTok videos. I mean, that's just the way to go. Remember, everything that you do is business. Be business-minded, business-oriented. I promise you. It'll get you that next step up, your next door to open.
That's real. So even with your climbing up and just climbing up through the radio, you told me you started out on Univision, right?
Well, I started off here in Lubbock with a mom and pop station. But yeah, I went to Austin and I worked for Univision also. I worked for BMP Radio and then Univision, and I got transferred over here to Lubbock. That's what brought me back to Lubbock.
Yeah.
And, being the promotions director for La Tricolor, Mexican regional station. So did that, but 6 months into my transfer, man, it's radio budget cuts came through, and
that's real.
But no, man, I ended up my homeboy D Brown. I met through other events here in Lubbock, and it's always good to network. That's why it's important to also network. You got to network yourself, no matter where and when.
Do you think artists need to leave? Cause I've just seen this on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Do you think, because in terms of network, do you think artists need to leave Lubbock to blow up, or can artists actually blow up from here in Lubbock?
You can blow up, but you got to put the work in. It's not gonna just come to you here in Lubbock. It's just like, let me put it to you with sales. Just because I'm a radio DJ on air, on the beat, and I go sell, yeah, people are gonna know who I am. But I gotta gain their trust for them to give me the money for me to put on the radio. But a lot of the times, it's not just here. Some of these businesses they're in different cities. I've had to travel all the way to Vegas.
Wow.
Just to go get somebody to tell me yes and pick up a check to bring back to advertise here in Lubbock. Again, that person then there opened up 5 more doors for me for other opportunities for business. And again, you have to network. Always network. Whether it's you having a business card, whether it's you adding on Instagram or Snapchat, it's networking. And always remember those people.
That's real. So give me some industry tips, not like the generic ones, but like in dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? Like where you've seen artists kind of fail. Just in terms of that. Like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
When you're talking to a program director, whether it's in top 10, top 20, even 179, make sure you talk to everyone the same way, like they are the number 1 station in the market or in the nation. Make sure all of your stuff business-wise is legit. Make sure your bio's legit. Everything is registered. That's the main thing, is being registered. With all these copyright infringements, stations are getting sued for dumb stuff. So if you can help out a station saying, hey, my stuff is radio edited, it's registered, here's where you can go and find me, this is what you have all that, 9 times out of 10, a jock is going to know somebody that knows somebody, or knows somebody directly at a record label, at a bigger record label, like Capitol Records. Hey, bro, look, check this out. Because those people, that's the way we network and communicate.
So do you feel like A&Rs, do you feel like that's still a real job, or is that like a dead field right now?
As in what? I'm sorry.
A&R, it's like, just because what you kind of explained was like an A&R pipeline situation, okay. But like just traditional A&Rs and label.
Yeah. No, it's there. Yeah, it's still there. No matter what, no matter how much, it's just like history repeats itself. It's always going to be there. As a jock, I'm a dying dinosaur. I'm a dinosaur. Being on the air, working in a small market, having that community touch. But at the end of the day, you still need that.
Do you feel like radio, not to cut you off, do you feel like radio is important in today?
Oh, most definitely.
Especially for like a up-and-coming artist or established artist?
For both. You got to look at it. No matter what, radio's not going to ever go anywhere. We're evolving with the trend. So now it's now looking at getting a podcast done. Not just on air, having the podcast, being live on your social media, and then going into the next step of getting syndicated. I mean, that's when it's real. Everything now, with radios now in cars are no longer just a radio dial. Now it's you can do the apps on there. They got Wi-Fi in the cars. So now that's where you have to evolve. Okay, now I want to be heard in New York. How can I get heard? Oh, you know what? Let me get a podcast up and going. Let me get myself syndicated into those markets as well. So now you're a triple threat plus, So now not only are you doing just on-air radio local, now you've got nationwide and sometimes even abroad. I mean, it's crazy because, with us, 104onthebeat.com, I would have never thought. I have a lot of people that are abroad with the Army, Navy, Marines, and they listen to us and send us, they'll get on their social media and they'll send us a message, or they'll email. They'll find our emails because we're able to be found. And they'll send us, hey, we're over here in Afghanistan. Can you send us a care package? Hell yeah, I'll do that. So you just never know who you're talking to. You never know how business works until you're really into it. And then when you see that, say, man, what's my next step? I gotta stop thinking inside the box and out the box. So that my next step is doing a podcast.
Yeah.
My next step is to get syndicated.
So what are any goals for you, just I guess as a personality or a radio program coordinator, just within your own personal life?
Me personally, I want to be corporate. That's where I want to go. I want to work corporate. I want to be able to run not just one, but 10, 12 stations, markets. Be able to go in and help out and develop fundamentally, develop them into, not just being a jock on the radio. Hey, if you got talent in mixing, come on, get into doing that. Thinking of other creative ways to make stations money. I mean, that's my goal. I've been here 11 years now, and I love it. I love what I do, but I'm very hands-on.
Yeah. So recently we had, and even just today was the first day we've been able to wear no masks. I've gone to different places. It's kind of weird to see. What's kind of your reaction on that in terms of the COVID?
So COVID is real. I'll be real. I was ignorant at the beginning. I thought people are making it up. It became real until it hit my family. I lost a lot of family, a lot of close people in my,
my condolences.
But to me, if I've always said, you can be as careful as you can be and still get it. You just don't know. I mean, it's a virus. It to me is I'm gonna still wear a mask. Right now, I'm not wearing one, but I'm conscious of what I'm saying. But nah, if I'm out in the public, I'm gonna still wear one for my safety and my family's safety. Mm-hmm. I feel if you don't want to wear one, that's your preference. Just don't get in my way. I'm not gonna get in yours.
That's real. 2020 was a wild year, one that we'll definitely never forget. Especially just for rappers, with the deaths of rappers and things like that. Do you feel like rappers are targets?
Rappers are what?
Are targets.
As in?
So like some people feel like just with all the deaths and like the deaths within rap, in and outside, some people feel like just rappers are targets among the community just with the deaths. I don't know. So like even Boosie last year said that I'm not giving out any more tips in terms of make a hit. My tip is giving you stay strapped and stay dangerous.
See, and again, that's because that's the lifestyle that he lives. You know what I'm saying? Again, hip hop is a lifestyle. What he raps about is a lifestyle. We can sit here and break down, like Biggie and Tupac. Tupac was educated. Biggie was in the streets, but they were both great rappers. And everybody, we can all sit there and say who's better or what. Targets, because we all look up to them. I don't care how old. I mean, I have a 22-year-old. His kind of music and mine, I like old school. That's what I like.
Yeah.
He likes that newer stuff, and I don't see eye to eye on him on that. But you know what? When there's a good beat to one, we'll both rock to it. But again, targeting as in people coming at them as in being like killing them.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because I'm not involved in stuff like that. It's what you involve yourself with, your lifestyle. I'm not boring. I like to live my best life. What I like to do when I party is I'll catch a flight out to Vegas and go party, turn up, and then fly back and come into work. I have not been to Vegas in a year and a half, and I'm
itching to go back with the cut.
I go at least once a quarter.
Yeah.
I like to go look at concerts. That's one thing for sure. It's been hard for rappers is the concerts.
Mm-hmm.
Because then what's the first thing people are going to do? Oh, I caught COVID at this concert. I'm going to sue them.
Yeah.
And that's why the loophole with us was doing Zoom interviews, Zoom meet and greets. And that was cute and fun.
Do you think that'll be a going thing? Because I feel like the production value on it, even with me, I'm sitting here recording you, but just in a certain sense, it was like, it's not the same as what we're used to.
I'm going to tell you right now, being in radio for 23 years now, it sucked. Because I want the rappers to come in. I want to get that one-on-one. I've met a lot of them, man. South by Southwest, ACL, always there. Revolt TV is a big sponsor of mine that's always hooked it up and taken me. That's P. Diddy's
yeah, exactly.
show.
Yes, sir.
So they always send me stuff. I go out there. They've had me MC a lot of their events. So, it's the interaction that's missing. But you got to find the next thing to do because, hey, we also got to eat somehow.
So I'm glad that you brought up events and with COVID. Do you feel like inner city events are a good thing for artists? I was going through Facebook and somebody was like, just in terms of if you're not traveling, there's no point of just doing these events like weekly and kind of joining up. Do you think that's do you think it actually hurts the artist or does it actually help? It
does. I mean, it can. It all just depends. I mean, we had one in September. We had Nelly and Snoop Dogg. And there was a lot, I was the MC of the night. Uh-huh. And everybody, Nelly, he was on the Dancing with the Stars contract, so he couldn't really, it was like, I'm on stage, I don't want nobody on there that hasn't been, tested for fever, this, and that. It's just my people, leave it at that. I mean, I had to wait by the trailer until he got off, and then me go up there and then talk. And, Snoop Dogg, he was in his whole little trailer about a mile away from everybody, and he was like, I'll get up on stage when I'm ready. Don't rush me. I want to make sure everything's clean. And he had his people out there cleaning everything, the mics and all. Even though everything got switched out, he wanted to make sure, and again, that concert was awesome. We had the most sales for the Snoop and Nelly concert than Austin. We had the better sales on tickets. And again, it was, everything was separated. You had your own little cubby hole for 8 people. And then, and it went all the way across. We were full. They sold out in that concert. The production that they put in was great. It was a lot of work to it, but I think it could be done. I mean, there's always loopholes.
Yeah. So give us just a few more artist tips for up and coming artists that they can kind of use to really just establish themselves as artists or even differentiate. 'Cause I feel like I look at rap like basketball. Everybody can hoop, but not everybody's in the NBA. Not everybody plays for the school.
Right.
And you might think you might be a rapper, but you're not a part of this music industry.
Right.
And that's what I tell people straight up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know, it's just like you just said, basketball. Yeah, you can hoop. You can hoop out in any kind of playground.
You might be the best hooper out here, to be legitimately.
But, you know, you got to put the work in too. It's not just being in the high school. You also got to be in those summer leagues, AAU. You got to sometimes travel outside of your city. You know, a lot of these ball players that I know here travel to Dallas because they got the big camps there because of the bigger NBA players that host those. So it's the same thing with radio. Don't just sit here and just settle just here in Lubbock. Man, get up. Go. Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas are the top 10 in the nation. Get out there. Get in the clubs. Get your demo to a club DJ. If your music is for a club, do it. If you look, it's hard right now with COVID because of festivals. Because that's the first thing. Be like, hey, South by Southwest.
Yeah.
Get in that. South by Southwest is one. Once they open, even now, I mean, they're doing the virtual. Get in. Don't stop. You gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep hustling. Even if they tell you no, that yes is coming. You just gotta keep on and keep on. Don't badmouth the station. Don't badmouth the program director. Don't badmouth anyone because they don't want to hear your stuff.
Cause they see it all and they read the tweets and the posts. Like, it's not hard to search on the internet.
I'll tell you right now, I feel so bad because there's times that I get my email nonstop. And there's same people that are sending me, and then I'll try to touch back with them. Hey man, I'm checking your stuff out. Hey, I just said, and I don't want to be hated, and I'll sit there like, hey man, and I'm being honest when I say, hey, I stood off to so and so and so. If I've talked to you, hey man, I listened to your song. Hey, how about if you do this, this, and the people that ask me, can you give me some feedback? And then when I do, boy, they go in on me. I'm like, okay, don't ask if you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
But this is just my opinion. Again, don't take it for what it is. But keep on sending it out. Ask the PDs. Ask your, radio DJs, hey, do you have any connects? It's okay to ask them if they know somebody else in another market. I send to the different DJs that I know from San Antonio, Austin, down the valley, Houston. I send the radio stations and even mix DJs, hey man, this song here, check it out, see what you think. And that's what you got to do. I can only do so much, but you got to also put that work in.
Okay. I have a few tough questions.
Okay.
Ready? All right, so are there any artists in town that you do want to spotlight or that you guys do have your eyes on and that you guys think can blow or can be on the radio?
I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot. But I'll tell you right now, there's a few. I could sit here and name 5, but I'm not about to sit here and then have them get upset because I didn't mention them.
You ain't
keep on sending me the stuff. Trust me, on my end, if I've talked to you personally, you know who you are. I have sent your stuff. I've communicated with you. You know who I've talked to for you. Just got to keep on. I'm doing my best on my end. We're kind of tight-knit right now on the list. I'm trying to think of ways around radio to still be able to get you guys on. I would love to do a battle again on the radio to where we have you guys come in and send y'all's songs in and then have the people vote for them.
Okay.
That's in the works. It's coming up in the summer, and that's about as much as I can say, but there is something coming up.
Okay. What happened to P to Pete? A lot of people kind of felt like he was like the street voice here at the radio station. Yeah. And some people don't even realize he's gone. Some people just like, he's gone, don't know what's kind of going on, and even me.
Yeah, Pete, man, one of my favorites. He actually took off. He went to Oklahoma. He went back home, and he had to take care of some stuff out there, and then that's all that I know of, really. I mean, he left back last year in February. Okay. And I truly miss him. He was something else. He always had something going on, something stupid to say, playing around, but he was honestly the person that I used to love seeing here at the station because he was so positive. Okay.
Do you feel like, not necessarily him, but maybe a street pipeline or a ground level act, personality, whatever, could fill in his shoes or be there?
Most deaf. And that's one thing for sure. Right now with COVID, what happened with COVID and all, we did have a lot of positions get taken away. We had to let go of a lot of people. I'm going to be real with you. We went from doing extremely well money-wise, and it dropped. I mean, we went from $600,000 a month to $80,000 a month. So a lot of positions got cut. And right now we're on the rebuild.
That's real. So, for our last question on the way out, so when we walked out here and somebody popped up in a time machine from 1947 or or 2015 or even just last year, and they're like, "I'm in your world." 3 months into the new year, what's one tip that you would give them?
That we should give them.
She thinking hard.
I sure am. Let's see. Any artist
Any
from
artist,
back in the day?
any artist from back in the day, or just anybody, just you know what I'm saying. They're in 2021. It is a different time. We live in a different paradigm. Every day, I'm realizing some rule that I thought was a rule is changing in some type of way.
Man, I mean, do I keep it PG or do I keep it?
Yeah.
With any artist, I would say. I mean, some of these artists forget where they come from and aren't open. They tend to think that oh, you ain't nobody. I'm gonna just be real. Remember where you come from. I mean, because that's the main thing. I've met artists that aren't Grammy Award winners and they act like they've got lots of Grammys. And it's like, dude, like you had one hit. Come on. So I mean, I just be real and if reach out to radio stations. Hey, we hate to have to sit there and be like, so we like your music when we don't, but hey, we know you're hot right now, and show us some love by giving us some stuff to be able to show to your fans out here. Because a lot of the times, yeah, we're the buffer for the artist to the listeners.
And I definitely get that now as a blogger. It's kind of like help us help you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't get that as an artist. It's like we're actually without you, there is none of our job. But like,
right.
Help us help you.
Man, I'm sorry to jump into something else, but like even with local rappers, hey. A lot of the times when I've got big events coming up, community events, I would love to be able to reach out to some of y'all and be like, hey, can y'all come and perform? I know it may not be paying right now, but trust me, I've done a lot of stuff in this community and not gotten a dime from it. But you know what? It's opened up other doors to get me to where I'm at now. So.
And that's real. And I want to end on that note. So for all the new fans, old fans, haters watching too, because they're always watching, where can they find you on social media?
Find me on Facebook, AMEO Radio, Instagram, AMEO Radio, and then Snapchat, AMEO1049, and TikTok, AMEO Radio.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Great interview.
Thank you.